he filmed his application video on a rowing boat.
He is intuitive, he is persistent, he is radical, and he just might be the best fisherman of all time. Please welcome Henri.
West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
I believe that living your life to the fullest can be as easy as driving a car. You are behind the wheel, you are in full control. And you have always a destination that you're going for. Every now and then you make a turn to the left or to the right, changing the course of your life. Of course, there's always another people who influence your life. For me, it was this old grumpy man who was there to tell me what to do and what not. He was the voices combined of my friends, family, and society, putting expectations in my head of what I was supposed to be. Sometimes his advice would go as follows: "Now, son, it's time for you to take a left." And that would mean, go study hard, get into a university, and become an engineer. Sounds familiar, right? And then he would go right after, "Turn right, please, son. It's time to slow down." And that would mean, settle down. Find a girl, build that into a marriage, and then raise a family of 4 in a lovely house in Espoo. I was performing this life to the exactly last word of this advice. I was on this highway of life, just trying to perform and get there as fast as possible. But the problem was that deep inside I felt miserable. This was not something that I had decided for myself. This was something decided by others. Year after, exactly last year, I was facing a crossroad in my life. I was offered an opportunity to start working at Slush, which is the greatest startup event of all time. We all know that, and it's an opportunity not to pass on. But for me, the decision was not that easy, because this old grumpy guy here, he was telling me, "Boy, you need to stick to the path that we have decided for ourselves." But yet again, I felt miserable, so I decided to take myself to the country roads. And as I was steering my way to the country roads, this old guy here, he would scream and shout, and he would not comply with me. All my friends and family were telling me not to do that. And when I did it, it was the first time in my life when I was actually driving for my own. I was making my own decisions. But then again, there's another difficulty. Because now there was more and more crossroads. We all know there is no crossroads on the highway, and I wasn't able to make any decisions. I had no values to base my decisions on. So I had to have these hard discussions with myself whether I valued the certainty and safety over the excitement and risk. And I'm only beginning my journey on this country roads of life. But I can already tell the views are much better there. And as there are more and more decisions for me to make, it's like every little or big decision I make, I'm becoming more the person I was always supposed to become. Now I'm only driving for myself, and I'm getting there, slowly. I guess what I'm chasing here is that we don't need to know the destination. When I started the job at Slush, I didn't know what it would entail. Heck, I don't know what I'm doing next year. But what I know, it was the right thing for me, and I couldn't be more proud. And by making these personal and not self-evident choices, our lives become much more authentic, personalized, and interesting. Isn't it that something that we all long for? That's why we like celebrities. They have made different choices in their lives. And they're making them constantly to maintain themselves interesting. So the next time you face a crossroad in your life, next time, whether the decision to be made is a small, like your next meal, or a big, like whether you should take on another job, think carefully whether you want to follow the lead of this old grumpy man, or whether you want to drive for yourself.
To the place